Hi, this is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today. I'm in Las Vegas at the PubCon conference with Greg Jarboe, who's an expert on public relations. And Greg, I wanted to ask you about some tips that will help small to medium businesses write a press release that'll get people to come take action on their site of some kind or another.
Yes, Ralph, this morning at one of the sessions I shared a case study of a company called Business Financial Publishing. And we did a series of press releases for them, one of which announced their one-year anniversary of a new site called smallcapinvestor.com, and we talk about the milestones and the things that they'd achieved. And people read it. We had 1,500 people read the release. We could measure that, but only one clicked through to actually say subscribe to the newsletter. So when you talk about yourself and all the wonderful things that you've done, okay, that's nice.
Who cares?
We did another release, though, for a special China report that they had done on the 5 best stocks to pick in if you were planning to invest in China. Well, we got 1,400 readers of that release. So in other words, we got fewer people who read the release, but it generated 44 registrations. Okay. And again, it's because we were providing people with news they could use. In other words, this isn't just information. This is like, there's a hot stock tip that I can go act on, and they did.
Same company, except when they talk about themselves, ho-hum. When they talk about something that someone else can take action on, now they get really interested.
Exactly. So the content, if it's focused on your customer, is going to do a lot better than if it's focused on yourself.
What other kinds of tips do you have for us?
Well, we've actually done some tests and discovered that when you provide useful tips, that they can do as well as hot news. In other words, for 100 years, people have been doing press releases. They assume if it wasn't newsworthy, I couldn't write it. But there's a lot of publications out there, mostly magazines, that provide how-to information. Mm-hmm. And it turns out how-to information, when you optimize that and put it in a press release format, gets just as much readership and just as much traffic to a website, again, because you're providing them news you can use, only this time the emphasis is on use.
So give me an example of something like this.
Sure. We did optimized press release for Parents Magazine, and we had one of the editors give us 7 tips on if you're going to take a photo of a child to enter in a photo contest, here are the things that editors look for. Here's the do's and don'ts. And those do's and don'ts were immensely practical, very valuable, and people acted on them.
Great. Any more tips here?
Well, the one other thing that we've been testing is including video in press releases. So we did a press release for a cooking contest called America's Next Cooking Star. This was put on by Better Homes and Gardens magazine. But the 3-minute YouTube video that was in the press release got 27,000 views. Again, people were saying, well, why would I do this? How would I do this? Well, the video took them through that. And a lot of times, particularly in a how-to situation, it's easier to show people in a video than it is to just tell them in a press release.
And that may have gotten embedded in other sites and passed along?
Well, we had a record number of people enter the contest, and it was actually the 14th most responded to contest that month and the 40th most responded to contest in YouTube's all-time history. So
not that you're keeping track.
Not that we were measuring, yeah, but the answer was embedding some video into your press release works too.
Well, thanks so much for sharing how to get action on those press releases. Tell me about your company and what you do.
Well, SEO PR includes SEO, search engine optimization, and PR, public relations. And what we have found is that that's the combination that seems to work these days, because you need to have optimized content so that it's relevant when people do a search. But increasingly, in order to get the links to that content that also then make it important enough to rank high in a search, the best links you can get are from the press, from blogs, from news.
And you're the guy that knows how to do that.
We try to do both.
All right. Thanks, Greg. This is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today.